There is a $2 liquid that garden centers will never sell you, because the moment it becomes powerful, it becomes impossible to bottle. Every season, millions of gardeners spend money on fertilizer, only to watch their plants produce exactly what they produced the year before. Same tomatoes, same peppers, same weak roots hiding under the soil. But the real problem is not the seed. It is not even the soil. The real work happens 6 inches underground, in a living world most gardeners never see, never feed, and never think about. And one kitchen ingredient can wake that world up. When it activates, it releases something synthetic fertilizer cannot copy. Biological signals that trigger roots to branch, stretch, and pull more from the soil around them. The reason Miracle-Gro does not have a version on the shelf is not because it does not work. It is because the biology dies before it can become a product. The ingredient is not rare, expensive, or hidden in some secret gardening catalog. It is sitting in kitchens, bakeries, and grocery stores all over the world. Humans have worked with it for thousands of years. Long before synthetic fertilizer existed, this tiny organism was already changing bread, beer, fruit, grain, and soil. But for most gardeners, the connection was never obvious. Because this does not work like fertilizer. It does not simply dump nutrients into the ground. It wakes up a biological process around the roots, one that can change how roots branch, search, and pull from the soil. Researchers did not find a miracle nutrient, they found signals. Tiny biological instructions that can push a plant into a different mode of growth. And that explains something gardeners have seen but rarely understand. A tomato plant that looks finished, yellow leaves, weak stems, no energy left, can sometimes respond within days after this brew touches the root zone. By the end of this, the recipe will be clear. 1 batch, under $1, 30 minutes. And the reason it has never appeared on a store shelf will make complete sense. The story starts long before Miracle-Gro had a name. That organism has a name, Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Most people know it by a simpler name, baker's yeast. It is a single-celled fungus that appears naturally where sugar breaks down, on grape skins, fallen fruit, and fermenting grain. For thousands of years, humans did not understand it. They simply worked with it. In Egyptian bakeries, Mesopotamian beer rooms, and village fermentation jars, this organism made dead ingredients move again. Dough rose, grain foamed, fruit changed. Something invisible was turning ordinary material into something alive and useful. For a long time, farming stayed close to that logic. Before synthetic fertilizer became normal, growers used brewery waste, compost teas, fermented plant material, and living preparations to feed the ground instead of forcing the plant. Then modern chemistry changed the story. In 1909, Fritz Haber proved that nitrogen from the air could be turned into ammonia. Carl Bosch pushed that breakthrough into industry. And in 1913, in Opal, Germany, the first industrial ammonia plant began producing fertilizer chemistry at industrial scale. It helped feed billions. But it also changed the way people thought about soil. The soil became less of a living system and more of a container. Gardeners were taught to add nutrients from the outside: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, bigger bags, faster results. But yeast never changed. It kept doing what it had always done, quietly, biologically, unbottled. And when modern researchers finally asked what happens when this ancient organism meets a root, the answer was stranger than fertilizer companies ever promised. Because the root did not just absorb, it reacted. When yeast activates in warm water, it does not simply dissolve, it wakes up. In that short window, it releases a cascade: B vitamins, amino acids, enzymes, minerals, and plant growth regulators linked to auxins and cytokinins. Auxins are architects. They help root cells elongate, branch, and reach deeper into the soil. More branches mean more surface area. More surface area means more water, more nitrogen, more phosphorus pulled from the ground. Cytokinins coordinate the response above ground, pushing stems and leaves to keep pace with what is building below. But that is only half the mechanism. In 2014, a team led by Dr. Thierry Loniani at the University of Queensland published results in Crop Science. Brewer's yeast added directly to fertilized soil, increased nitrogen and phosphorus levels in the roots and shoots of tomato and sugarcane plants. In tomato, root biomass rose by 56%. In sugarcane, by 47%. Something in the yeast was not just feeding the plant, it was changing the way the root system behaved. 4 years later, researchers described the rhizophagy cycle. Plant roots do not passively absorb, they hunt. Root cells can pull microbes inside, strip nutrients from them using reactive oxygen, then push survivors back out through root hair tips. The loop begins again. This has been seen under a microscope, not just theorized, watched. And the hormone side matters too. A 2023 review in MDPI Agriculture reported that auxin and cytokinin treatments increase soybean yield by 29 to 34%, compared with untreated controls. That number shows exactly why these biological signals matter. So, why has no one told you this before? Here's what the science does not explain. Why is this not on every garden center shelf? Scott's Miracle-Gro is not a tiny niche brand. Its parent company reports roughly $3.4 billion in sales. And Miracle-Gro is one of the most dominant names in consumer plant food. But that business is built for one kind of product. Something manufactured, bagged, warehoused, shipped, stacked on a shelf, and bought again next season. Living yeast water cannot behave like that. Once activated, it starts changing. It off-gasses carbon dioxide. A sealed bottle could swell. The living window is short. The biology that makes it powerful also makes it commercially awkward. You can sell dry yeast. You can sell fertilizer crystals. But you cannot easily sell a fresh biological reaction that anyone can start at home in 30 minutes for under $1. The recipe is almost stupidly simple. 1 liter of lukewarm water, warm enough to feel comfortable on the inside of a wrist, but not hot enough to sting. Add 2 tablespoons of dry baker's yeast. Add 1 teaspoon of sugar, not to feed the plant, to wake the organism. Cover the container loosely, never airtight. After 30 to 40 minutes, foam should rise on the surface. That foam is the signal. The brew is alive. But before it ever touches a root, dilute it. 1 part brew to 10 parts water. This is not optional. Yeast is a trigger, not a flood. High concentrations can stress growth. More is not better. Apply it only to moist soil, directly around the root zone, not on the leaves, not every week. 3 moments matter most. At transplant, at first flower, and at first fruit set. That is when root architecture matters. That is when this brew can push. And there is one use gardeners remember most: the revival. A tomato plant that looks finished, yellow leaves, drooping stems, no new growth, gets 1 dose at the root zone. Then, a few days later, fresh white feeder roots begin to appear near the surface. The plant was not magically rescued. It was reminded how to grow.